Hey, this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing an overview of the Manix 2, the Spyderco Manix 2. But first, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. All right, cool. So let's get this out of the way, and let's talk Spyderco. Let's talk Manix 2. I'm going to be honest, I get these Spyderco names totally confused. If I had the Sage 5 lightweight and the Manix 2 and the Para 3 and it's kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's kind of ridiculous the way they name them. But again, I'm not the biggest Spyderco, nut. I'm starting to appreciate Spydercos and kind of opening my mind to them, which is fine. This is on loan from a really good friend of mine. He loaned me actually a handful, several Spyderco knives. So I've been kind of making my way through them. One or two, maybe three, a few of them I'm going to do kind of more in-depth videos on, and I've had a chance to carry them, and I've had these knives for about a week or so. But, it's 5 or 6 knives for a week. It's tough to kind of use them all a lot or even carry them all a lot. So I'm doing my best, kind of going to just do an overview of this guy, of the Manix 2, and then move on to the next one because I have a ton of Spydercos kind of lined up. So let's go ahead and check the action. Action's actually pretty surprisingly good. The D10 is not too stiff. It's kind of snappy but comfortable. You have the ball bearing lock, which I don't have a ton of experience with, but from what they tell me, it's like the kind of like the axis lock. So I'm going to pull down. There's a spring in there. I'm going to pull down, and then the blade drops. Of course, my friend's signature zip ties. So when he pulls it out of his pocket, kind of functions as like an Emerson wave. So the blade opens up when he pulls the knife out. Yeah, these don't do anything for me, but he enjoys them. Let's go ahead and see if I can do a thumb. Boom. Okay, cool. So let's check this knife out. Feels like G10, so we got G10 scales. Interesting backspacer, or what's functioning as a backspacer. Let's see. I guess that must be part of the ball bearing lock, but it looks like a backspacer from back here. Some nice jimping and ridges on top, so you can kind of choke back if you want. Actually, that feels pretty good. I can choke up into this choil. Okay, I don't like this grip as much. Back here feels great in my hand. Actually, really surprisingly good. Very, very comfortable. We have 154 cm blade steel. Actually surprising. I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's an alarm going on outside. Perfect. It's been quiet all day, and then I start this video, and stupid alarm. Hopefully you guys can't hear that, but I'm powering through this video. I'm not stopping. All right, so hey, it stopped. Okay, so this is a surprisingly nice hollow grind. Very cool. That's definitely a surprise. I don't know. I think the Smock has a hollow grind, and again, I'm not the Spyderco expert, but I feel like they always lean toward full flat grinds. So I feel like this is a little bit unusual for Spyderco. And for the blade shape, what are we calling that? Spear point? Drop point? It's a pretty aggressive drop point. I'm calling it a spear point. Let's go ahead and check the backside. Made in the US, Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. The clip, kind of a classic Spyderco clip. Not my favorite, but I will see how it sits in pocket. Most of these knives that I have on my table, I might carry them for part of a day or a day, and I'm talking about the group of these Spyderco knives that are on loan, mostly because I have to get these back to my friend, and I have a pretty awesome project that I'm going to be announcing very soon, any day now, so that's going to be taking up all of my time. So I'm doing my best to get these reviewed, but it's more like an overview. So ergos feel great. Let's get this measured up. What do we got? about three. Okay, about 3¼ 3½-ish. And then 8 overall, so not a small knife. I would consider this, I think a lot of people would consider this a large knife, but I'm going kind of on at the larger end of medium, but I think this is a medium-sized knife. At least it feels medium in my hand. It doesn't feel overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, this is the biggest, the biggest knife. I have my my Shaman right here. By the way, update for anyone that was wondering, I did manage to loosen the pivot screw a little bit, and much better, much easier to flick and smooth. Oh, it's closed. All right. And much smoother on the drop. I do get pinched with the little nub. I'm going to try and have that removed. Anyway, let's stay focused. All right, so Manix 2. My friend sharpened this up, so let's go ahead and see how he did. Ooh, all right, man. I see your sharpening skills. Pretty good. Just laser beamed through the paper. It has an interesting thud. I wonder if that is just the kind of the weight of the blade, because it is fairly thick, or if that is the ball bearing lock. But it has a nice kind of interesting acoustics, which I appreciate. Drop shut. Zero blade play. Rock solid. Ergo's up here. Not so much. Ergo's back here. Very good. Let's go ahead and do just a quick size comparison. I'll do an all Spyderco size comparison. Let's go ahead and see what other Spyderco. Bang. No, that's Neves Knives trademark. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and measure up these other two. We got the Shaman, and then we have the pair of 3. Yeah, just about 3 inches or so, 7 overall. Shaman. It's interesting. I think of the Shaman. You know what? I think I'm going to change what I said. The Shaman feels like a large knife to me, but if we look at it, yeah, that's over 3½. Over 3½ and over 8. So it is okay. So it is larger than the Manix 2, but not by much. So this is kind of like a deceivingly large knife. What did I say? 3 and 7, 3½, and 8¼ or so, and then of course we got about 3 and 8. Interesting. Okay, so we'll get these other Spydercos kind of off the desk, and let's go ahead and kind of give the final word on this guy. Action is good. I do like the acoustics. My friend got this super sharp. He picked this up on the secondary, so it's definitely well loved and used. The scales, for being kind of rough G10, they're not offensive to me. Some G10, I touch it, I'm just like, nope, can't do it, can't hold the knife. It doesn't offend me. It's not my favorite material, and especially this version of this material. If this was my knife and they had replacement scales, I definitely would look into that. But, if you're pulling this knife out, doing a couple cuts, putting it back in your pocket, I don't think it really makes a big difference. The G10 is not bad. Ergos are solid. Action, I do like this hollow grind a lot. It feels, just for a Spyderco, surprisingly hollow. I really like that. And the blade steel 154 cm, it's fine. It's, solid blade steel. No complaints. And overall, I think this is a cool knife. The clip, lanyard hole thing, The ball bearing lock, it's not my favorite, but I can appreciate it. I see why people like it. It's like the Axis lock. I get it. Now, would I buy this knife? No, I would not. I did buy my Shaman. I also bought another Spyderco, which I'm not sure when I'm going to post the video, so I don't want to give away what it is exactly yet. But if this, I think my friend got a good deal on this too. So, it's a solid Spyderco. It's not my style, not my favorite, but I'm glad I got a chance to handle it. And probably the best thing about this knife is the ergos, or are the ergos. Feels very comfortable in hand, even with this kind of interesting jimping along the spine and jimping along the back spacer. Pretty solid in hand. I think that just about wraps up my overview of the Manix 2. And of course, I forgot to mention, but this is running on washers. Can you see yeah, you can see the washers. Can you see the washers? They're in there. Anyway, this has been Knife Standards. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this overview, and I'll be back with another video very soon. All right, catch you later.